What is up, MTG-PORTAL, and welcome to a new series here on our channel, the most powerful Magic the Gathering cards in history, Episode 1. I hope you guys enjoyed this series. We're going to be talking about all of the most powerful Magic cards from Power 9 to creatures, enchantments, sorceries, and instants. So stay tuned and let's get this crazy chain of fun underway. Here we go. First up on our journey through time, we have Black Lotus. Yes, you guessed it. One of the most powerful and iconic Power 9 cards in all of Magic the Gathering history. Coming in at a hot retail price of $19,999 on MagicCardKingdom.com. If you have a mint condition alpha, you have a piece of Magic the Gathering history, and you should proudly support this and put it on your wall. This card is iconic, it is powerful. It is banned in almost every single format, but it is one of the most highly sought-after cards by all of the collectors of Magic the Gathering history. I am proud to have it as the first card on our new series, the greatest and most powerful Magic the Gathering cards in history. Absolutely phenomenal card. Alright, next up we have another amazing card, Word of Command, coming in at 2 black for an instant. Look at the target opponent's hand and choose a card from it. That player plays that card with his or her own mana, but you make all decisions it calls for. The player is required only to spend mana in his or her mana pool and or mana that can be produced by lands. Word of Command is one of those cards that basically enables you to tell your opponent how they're going to play their next turn. There's so much bad that can happen with this card if you have the right deck and it's played at the right time. I absolutely love Word of Command. I think it's an absolute powerhouse and an amazing card to own. Moving right along, and next up we have Skull Clamp, one of the most iconic artifacts in all of Magic the Gathering. For anyone who's played Skull Clamp or has experienced what Skull Clamp can do, they understand just how iconic and how powerful this card really is. Coming in at 1 colorless to be able to turn around and give an enchanted creature +1, -1, and whenever that creature dies, you draw 2 cards. Oh, come on, we're Skull Clamping Frogmites all day long. Skull Clamping Ornithopters like they're cool. Skull Clamp and card draw, one of the most powerful effects in Magic the Gathering. There's a reason why it's banned in most formats and not allowed in Standard. I believe it's banned in Modern. It may very well be banned in EDH. I'd have to double check. But yeah, he's an absolute powerhouse. Love me some Skull Clamp. And next up we have TOLARIAN Academy. Absolutely amazing, phenomenal land. Unfortunately, bad news to all EDH players. Don't get excited. It is banned in the format. TOLARIAN Academy is one of those lands that I personally wish was not banned in EDH. I have the ability to tap and add 1 blue mana to my mana pool for every artifact that I control. If I'm running an Affinity for artifact deck and I'm splashing blue for counters, or I'm splashing blue, white, black for Sidric of Anagenius, this card has a home in any and every artifact deck. So, sadly for collectors, this is a wonderful card, ranging between the $20 to $25 mark, but unfortunately playable, just not going to happen much. It's banned in about everything. But it is an absolutely amazing card, and it has a home right here in the top 10. Next up, we have Mishra's Workshop. What more can we say about this card other than pure power? Tap it to add 3 colorless to your mana pool, spending this mana only to cast artifact spells. If you are building an artifact affinity deck, or you've got big powerful artifacts you need to get out, but you don't quite have the mana to cast them, this is a quick enabler to get all of your mana ramp out on the board, and before you know it, you're overrunning your opponents with artifacts left and right. Mishra's Workshop is an amazing card, not to mention it's a mythic. It's an absolute powerhouse of a land. I love it, and there's not much more I can say about it other than, yeah, Mishra's Workshop, freaking amazing. Wonderful land. Next up, we have Library of Alexandria. How much more awesome does it get than a land that enables you to draw a card every single turn with literally no drawback? Tap it to add 1 to your mana pool. You may also tap it freely to draw a card, activating this ability only if you have exactly 7 cards in hand, which is still not really a drawback. The more cards you have in hand, the better chance you do of defeating your opponents. You cast the spell, sweet. Tap Library of Alexandria to draw that next card, and maybe it's going to be a top deck. This is a powerhouse. It is a card drawing engine. I love everything about Library of Alexandria. Next up, we have one of the most iconic extra turn cards of all of Magic the Gathering history, Time Walk. 1 colorless to blue for a sorcery that simply states take an extra turn after this one. Doesn't get much more powerful than that. We have many renditions of this. that cost ridiculous, ridiculous amounts of mana, and it's their version of trying to balance out the power versus the mana cost. Time Lock, for what it is, was phenomenal. Absolute powerhouse. Take an extra turn, dominate your opponents. Can't ask for much more on the card, now can you? If you've been playing Magic the Gathering as long as I have, you will recognize this card. Force of Will is the most iconic counterspell in all of Magic the Gathering history. Now, some cool news, Force of Will is coming back in Eternal Masters, the new quote-unquote Modern Masters block that will be coming out later this year. For 3 colorless and 2 blue, you may pay 1 life and exile a blue card from your hand rather than pay Force of Will's mana cost and counter target spell. It does not get any more powerful or any more straightforward than this card. Force of Will is freaking phenomenal, and I am explicitly excited for Eternal Masters. This is going to be a chase card unlike chase cards when it returns. Well, when we talk about iconic and powerful cards, we cannot forget Timetwister. Coming in a 2 colorless and a blue, for a sorcery that enables each player to shuffle his or her hand and graveyard into his or her library and then draw 7 new cards. Then that player puts Timetwister into its owner's graveyard. Absolute powerhouse. Nothing more needs to be said about Timetwister besides the fact it's freaking amazing. As everybody likes to know, I like to start the video with a powerhouse card and end one with a powerhouse card. We started with Black Lotus, we are ending with Ancestral Recall. For 1 blue, you may draw 3 cards or force target opponent to draw 3 cards. We're obviously not going to force our opponent to draw 3 cards, but man, would we love to draw 3 cards ourselves. Ancestral Recall belongs in the top 10 of the most powerful Magic cards in all of history, and we will continue this with Episode 2 coming soon. Take care, guys. Thank you for being a part of MTG Portal. Thank you for subscribing to our content and watching our videos. Look forward to Episode 2 of this new series coming soon. We'll talk to you all soon. If you have questions, comments, or cards that you believe should be featured in the top 10 most powerful Magic the Gathering card series of all time, leave them down below in the comments, give me a thumbs up, let me know what you think, and you might just see your card featured right here in this video series on MTG Portal. Take care, guys.